Hello, this is Connie Brown with Ex Libris North America. I have prepared several ALMA Analytics examples to show you the power of analytics, as well as to provide you with analyses that you may find useful for your institution. In this example, we're going to be looking at physical items that will be declared lost tomorrow. As you can see from the description, we're going to be focusing on the scenario where a library wants a list of physical items that will be declared lost. So in this situation, these items will be declared lost, and the configuration is in place so that the declaration of lost occurs when the items are 60 days overdue. In our example, the physical items are overdue by 59 days, and so in other words, they will become overdue tomorrow or lost tomorrow. The purpose of creating this list is to allow library staff members to perform a final search in the library's physical collections in hopes of finding that some or all of the items have found their way back to the library. Let's return to analytics. In this particular example, we're going to be looking at creating an analysis in the fulfillment subject area. To begin, I am going to start by adding in a library and location name. Now, in the situation where you might have but one library, you could probably ignore including the library name. In the situation where you have the multiples, of course, it's absolutely required. From the bibliographic details area, I'm going to select title so that we have a match point that we can be working with. From loan details, I am going to get hold of the call number. So this is going to be the call number that was assigned to the item in particular. We'll scroll down a little here and get some additional physical item details. Here we want to include, for example, enumeration A, chronology I. So this is going to be, for example, whether or not this is a volume in a set. Perhaps it's part of a standing order type of item, and so that you're getting, volumes year after year after year. And then, of course, chronology details as well. From loan details, I'm also going to get hold of barcode at this point. And I want to include both loan status and process status because I want to be able to filter on them. Now, in my example, I am going to actually shift the position of the enumeration information and put that actually over to the left a little bit so that the loan status and process status information are on the far right of our analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and save the analysis. So in this case, calling it lost at 60 days. So they're providing a few details just as a reminder of what sorts of things will be going on there. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and run the results just exactly as they are without any filters, without any additional information. So essentially what this is showing us is really what's on loan right now, what's the various statuses, where transactions have completed, and what the details are about the various items. Okay, so going back over to the Criteria tab, There are a couple of things that I want to include. One of them is that the loan status, I'm going to filter this one to being active. So in other words, we're not concerned now about complete loans or inactive loans. We want just the active loans. In other words, those things that are declared to still be on loan. I also want to include a process status filter. And in this case, I want to say where these things have not been shown to be lost. Remember, we're trying to determine what will become lost. It's not lost yet. So you can see those two filters that are now in place. And I'll go ahead and save that once more and click on the results. So we see that we, have a slightly different look to our results at this point, and it's because we are no longer seeing things where the loan status is complete. It's because we've filtered all of that out. Returning to the criteria, we now want to apply a filter that relates to due date. And you'll notice that I haven't yet included due date in the analysis. And it's because we can filter on the column of data without including it in the selected columns pane. So I begin by clicking on or putting my mouse pointer over top of the option to filter. And from here, rather than selecting one of these columns, I will select more columns to open up what it is I'm looking for. And so in this particular case, I'm picking the due date column and the date key so that I am able to take the next steps. So from here, I want to begin by saying that we're going to have something that is equal to today's date. And the reason that I choose today's date is that what we're looking for is in the end, things that are 59 days earlier than today's date. And so we start with this, and then we're going to go ahead and convert this filter to SQL. I click on OK, and it now is going to open the Advanced SQL Filter window. Because we want to change up this bit of information, so we're not actually looking for what's due today. What we're looking for is things that were due 59 days ago, and because they will be declared lost on the 60th day, we want to be able to find out what's due. So I'm going to select that and delete that information. From there, I'm going to go ahead and enter in an SQL statement that will allow me to identify that particular grouping. So in this particular case, we want to say timestamp add SQL TSI day, comma, minus 59. So 59 days earlier than today. And the way that we identify today is by including current date. So I have my SQL statement now in place, and I click on OK. And you'll see that that now has been added into the filters, even though that column of data is not showing up in the selected columns group. Save that change and run the results one more time to identify that we have here 3 items that are all found in the main library in the main circulating collection. These 3 items with these call numbers. Enumeration chronology happens to not apply to them. There's the barcode. These items are on loan. They have a renewal status there. If we go into ALMA and take a look for the gingham dog, and here choosing a physical item search, There we can indeed see the loan process is in place. There is the exact due date, and if we click on loan, we'll see that this item is on loan to Dean Andrews, and of course being able to take next steps in the event that we find that the item is indeed not on the shelf, and then pursue it with Mr. Andrews, or in the event that it's not found, then to create a set of these items that we then want to go through perhaps the withdrawal process. So to review what it is I did in this particular analysis, I added in the relevant columns of data to help me identify what items, where they're situated in the library, provided details that indicate what barcode is associated with the items, the fact that the loan status remains active, and that the process status at this point is not lost. Then we applied a due date filter in which we included an SQL statement for the timestamp add, so that we can be looking at things that are now 59 days overdue from today, and that they can then be declared lost tomorrow. That concludes this analysis.